الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. We send we blessings, we send we thanks and praises to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we send we blessings and salutation to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and in companions them. So this is our 5th episode and the Pathway to Jannah show, and today I get a special guest for Una. And today Una already be enjoyed the last guest, and I will say the program was a success and me say plan from it. The show where we get with Junior Fuma. Today also we get another role model, a special guest. We don't know less a person but Haja Kadiatu Jannah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, so these are the 5th edition of Pathway to Jannah, and today we get an exciting topic. Of course, a lot of people out there on another see female Muslims that they hijab, another see Muslim that they hijab, and someone could doubt say, why did they do this? Is it a tradition for hijab or is it a commandment? So today, me decide for me and the Haja Kadiatu today when I'm youngest, we decide we can talk about the hijab. So we go with the first question when I'm waiting at the hijab, because a lot of people out there go want to know waiting at the hijab, like waiting the all about.
Okay, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We send peace and blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I want to thank you for where you get me as today. Well, first of all, the hijab a material where Muslim women then they cover themselves with, for hence when we get strange men around, for prevent themselves from them.
As we don't already learn, it's say hijab now called a veil where Muslim women they put on that for make them cover themselves whenever strange people they around. Strange people can be other man them like Muslim or kind of in that way. Islam not say like yeah this person for like foresee you in any way possible. So we go to the second question because we want to go deep more on this topic because it's a wide topic, and of course I'm glad for yeah because me now one of the Muslims and where they wear the hijab. So we want to ask the question is, what did Allah say inside this Quran? Because of course the hijab now Muslim women can wear and related to the Quran, and Allah must say something about her inside the Quran. So we want to know like what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell me inside the Quran about the hijab?
Okay. Firstly, for sure say this hijab not to something traditional, now something where a commandment from the Almighty Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk to the Prophet inside Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 59. He say, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu qul li azwajika wa banatika wa nisa'il mu'minin yudnina alayhinna min jalabibihin. It first of all starts with the Prophet in picking them. He say, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu. He say, Oh you Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Uli azwajika, tell your wives them. Uli azwajika wa banatika, tell your wives them and you picking them. Wa nisa'il mu'minin, and tell the believers their woman them. That's not the wives of the believers then. Yudnina alayhinna min jalabibihin. He say make them take over themselves their outer garment. That is, make them cover themselves then. Make them protect themselves with this hijab. Yeah. So he say in the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nine are the most gracious, nine are the most merciful. And in blessings, in mercy go there upon this person wherever it go. So this is not a commandment where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command all Muslim women for put them on.
Okay.
Yes.
So as we already hear from Sister Raki, they say the hijab it's a commandment, like not a tradition, not to say like an option, not to like say okay man just decide for wake up. Now it's commandment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ones who will create me and you where they watch me right now. Now in command the Prophet directly tell and say if we tell in your picking them. So as we don't already know, then one thing we Allah is Allah promise say woman, any woman will wear them, it will grant them a blessing and a mercy wherever I go. So I encourage you all, maybe we continue for watch so we will learn a lot about the hijab because I'm glad for learning for that. So we go to the next question where we go and know within Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because whatever Allah say in the Quran, it must get a hadith where related to him. So we go and know if there was a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell me about the same hijab ya so for buttress this story. So.
Also with regards to that, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did tell we say when a woman they pray, for sure say this hijab na compulsory, and when you not cover yourself, the prayer is not acceptable. So when you dey pray, the Prophet say every part of the woman for cover except with the exception of his face and his hands. So that means say every bit of every part of you for cover as a woman when you dey pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except your face and your hands. Now in no more they allow you for left when you dey pray. But also somebody want for ask, what about the one that will cover their faces them and will cover their hands them? Yes, for the one that will cover their faces and their hands, not to compulsory for say for cover your face and your hand. But if you decide for cover your face and your hand, it's okay for you. Now more blessings for you. But the compulsory one is the Prophet say when you pray you for cover from your head to your toe except for the face and your hands. So it is compulsory upon us all as women to put on this hijab. And also with regards to the faces and the hands, another person also want to ask where the Prophet don't say we for left with face and we for left with hand. What if me want to cover my face and my hand want to pray? And some scholars then may argue about that, and some scholars then say it's okay for you pray with your face covered and your hands. But some scholars then say again, if a non-mahram, meaning if a stranger not did it, because you know say when a man gets right for married, you know for see you pack them. So if a man not did it, a stranger not did it, you can pull the niqab, you can pull them. You are allowed to remove it. You can pull them and you pray. Okay. Yes, and some scholars then say in fact not compulsory or make you pull them. Because the Prophet say you face and you hand for cover when you pray. But some scholars then say, being that the woman already cover her face from the strangers, so you know we find we want for prayer it pull on the stranger lady, then why it cover for? So some scholars then say, well, if it be for say strangers them lady, you can cover your face, it's fine, you can pray. But if stranger then not lady for pull the niqab, then you pray.
Okay, so as we don't already know, the hijab is a compulsory wearing, a compulsory belief of every Muslim woman, and also the hadith the way what they say, where woman they pray you for cover all parts of you, including the feet, because I can't allow for understand even maybe they fall short say we left with feet them like so. This hadith now they try for specifically tell you say for cover your feet like hand and your face no more. So I would say there are a lot of people out there who learn from this because me I don't learn and I don't learn more, so I'm glad for that. And also when they go to the next question, and also like I for now. So the next question is we go and know what's the impacts of this hijab, what's the great impact in the great woman that inside Islam. What's the impact?
Okay. With regards to that, it gets a lot of impact, even now, present with this 20% it will become. Firstly, the time where the commandments become the Prophet will disseminate the message, and women can be cover themselves. Even in Aisha, the time where the Prophet will die, it tell in Sahabas and that nine companions, then it tell them say, if una wants to get more knowledge, una come to Aisha radiallahu anha, when are the most knowledgeable woman in the whole world, and no woman not there again we go breaking record, the most knowledgeable woman in the whole world, and no woman will break that record there. So the Prophet been say when una want for know what Islam, una meet the Prophet in wife who is Aisha radiallahu anha, and even in timing concept where because of how beautiful she is, it been so much beautiful that it be even shame for talk to the man them. So like when man them be the cantor and when the Prophet be done die, when the man them be the cantor and for seek knowledge, then it make something like I don't know inside the masjid you can see where they put cover clothes, right? For let the man they not see the woman them. So if they use that they at the back and the man they in front and they ask the questions them and they say I'm out. So like that woman in a one impact, she is the most knowledgeable woman, and it gets a lot of knowledge where it been passed on so the companions, and even till now it's very useful to we. And also we been get a lot of women, and we get even women them now. We get Sister Khadija also, you know, am I right?
Yeah.
Sister Khadija gets a lot of impact we don't create. Even to me, she's my mentor, and to a lot of Muslim women. We know Sister Amana, right?
Yeah,
Sister Amana we cover.
Yeah.
Instead don't create a lot of impact. And I even we make this hijab campaign where we call the first lady for make the allow for the hijab. Now we work in places there, follow the hijab wherever we go and all. So it gets a lot of impact we don't create now we lives them. And one thing about the hijab, one amazing thing about the hijab, and it's the correct words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where Allah say in blessings and in mercy they do upon we. You find out say a lot of respect we they get on.
Yeah,
anytime we go we have a lot of respect because of the hijab. One thing about the hijab, it brings you more respect, it helps you wherever you go. Even the one themselves we know the hijab, they respect you anytime you go. This hijab now is symbol of respect. Anytime you go it is symbolize your religion, and it's kind of impossible for you go outside and somebody ask you now which religion this.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it Islam. So it's very, very important for all the put on the hijab, and it gets a lot of impact when on the create now lives them. Wearing the hijab is not about just for you cover your body. No, it deals with even your character, how you behave to people, then how you communicate to people, then how you interact with people, and it has a lot of things the way they deal with that. Now that's make we can say even when somebody they put on the hijab, then it gets a negative something where they do to character. They see somebody, they say you wear hijab now you behave so, because they are not expecting you to behave in that kind of manner. Anybody who see person wear hijab, they expect a lot of good behavior in them. So this is what we do as hijabis.
As we don't already learn, the Prophet Muhammad in woman when Haja Kadiatu Sesay, when the greatest woman, the woman who gets knowledge past everybody. You don't give a lot of impact to a lot of people and to we all. So like the hijab, it's a respect, as Sister Haja Kadiatu say, it's a sign of your Islam, it's a symbol of your religion, it's a symbol of respect. So I encourage we all, some of we know they out there, some of una we out when they wear make una put on the sign of respect, una put on the sign of una Islam. You know, go find as a Muslim, you wear the hijab done, you go sometimes they go ask you know a Muslim, like I wonder how that felt. Like they go ask you know a Muslim, you know, get the hijab, what you get for explain or say something. Then moreover, when you don't put on the hijab, as Sister Haja Kadiatu say, if you act like one. You know, for all they put on the hijab, say me not hijabi for the name say. If you act like one, you know, go find you see when they ask you wear the hijab, they ask you just say you not hijabi say. Just like you wear the hijab again, like that no nice definitely. As we don't learn from Sister Haja Kadiatu. So we go to the next question where we want for no, because you don't have to we say there are some people and they wear hijab, they act negatively. Some people and they wear they act positively. So one of the rules of the hijab, because you know for you some man they out there in the wear and don't know at all. So that make like lead to where they act negatively, like act bad. So we want to.
Well, first of all, I don't go blame them 100%.
Okay.
But my advice to them, first of all, even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Angel Jibril to him, the first word with Angel Jibril altered was Ikra, meaning read. Ikra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. He say read in the name of your Lord. And the Prophet say, I don't know, I know sabi read and all. So he squeeze them and tell and say read. He squeeze and say read, you know. You understand? So what in that they try to tell me, say we for seek knowledge. So it's very, very important. So I'm not actually blaming them, but I encourage them for letting seek knowledge. Firstly, anything that this world we want for going to, if na hijab you want for wear, if na politics you want going to, anything so far, you for so far get the knowledge of what you want for going to. That is if you want to be successful in what you want to going to. You know, go say you want to be doctor, then you know go learn medicine. It's not possible. So if you want for learn, you want for wear the hijab, before first of all learn what in na this hijab, how are for wearing, what in an impact when hijab they create in life. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Me first, they mean as somebody, I need to go into something just because I want to go into one. And they make sure say I know what I want to go into, so that I don't go get problem in the future. So I advise them, make them learn, make them get more knowledge about what in this hijab they for, how I for put on this hijab, what in my behaviors they will forget. And this hijab here, so what we they wear? We for make sure say we wear them completely. Inside the Islam, we are not allowed to wear they're not allowed for wear transparent something with the hijab. You know who wears something, hijab, they wear something where they make they show you 11 and do. It's kind of awkward. You know who wear hijab, then also you bobby the nado. You know who wear hijab, you figure all the nado. You understand? When they say hijab, you whole body for cover, except for your face and your hands. Your whole body for cover. You know for wear something way short, then you put on the hijab. Even the one themselves we don't know the rulings of hijab, then see somebody wear short skirts, they put hijab. Maybe within common sense, they say this is not correct.
Right.
Yes. Even though you not gets the knowledge, but you know say not correct. So we can see some of the sisters then can make fashion with this hijab, and it's wrong. It's not a fashion. It's not something where allows one another command you for do. If you know say you put them on, make sure you put them on correctly.
Okay.
Now I make inside Islam we need to force nobody for put on the hijab.
Really nice.
We not to force somebody. Even the prophet, you know, be the force nobody. But if you think say it's okay, and start compulsory, we don't. Even the prophet when it be they preach, you know, be the force nobody. If they preach, for make it see reason for make you accept them. So you're not force somebody for put on the hijab, but you encourage somebody for put them on. And also another lesson we want to follow with sisters them learn. There are sisters out there when somebody they put on the hijab the wrong way, instead of the correct and they show the person, or they sit down and gossip the person, or they just look down on the person, tell them all kind of words. No, it's not correct. Sometimes the person will put them that way they in do and pass yourself. Sometimes you allow they accept and pass you because you are doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
They expect you for correct the person instead of you they talk about the person. So also you forget strategies in which they correct the person. Meet the person, sister, you put on the hijab, alhamdulillah, thank you so much. And this we know send a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and really Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. May Allah make you continue for put on the hijab. And sister, I don't know, you get long skirts, something like that. You encourage the person, make it put on the correct
The
thing.
approach will be nice.
Yes, the approach will be nice. The Prophet be once tell we say, preach the Islam not only by talking, but also by your character. Some people then simply because of your character then they decide for joining Islam. You understand that, right? Simply because of your character they can decide for joining Islam. I have a lot of people that told me that. So you can make people enjoy you by simply your behavior, how you interact with them, how you talk to them. So the hijab should be worn correctly. Cover from your head to your foot. Make sure say you know wear something with the fully figure and the bobbin and make sure say the thing we wear not transparent, not short. And for very, very good.
Okay. So one thing we I pick up from what Sister Aki say is reminder. Because even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell we say we as a Muslim before remind ourselves of something very good. So if you see a sister wearing the hijab the wrong way, instead of a provoke or gossip about her, tell Allah it's gossip. That is a sin. So instead of do that, meet the person, remind us that this is no one. Maybe the person will know. If you not be know now, if you may know reminder, if you not be know teach him for politely. The approach goes a long way. Like, your character goes a long way. Like, the person will see him inside you say. If you see the two inside you, so he will believe you, he will listen to whatever you say. When you go find you go meet him with the wrong way. And of course, we all they fall short in different ways. Also, I know they blame nobody with the hijab. I know they blame nobody with the wear them the wrong way. So I would advise you will watch this video right now, meet person, what you learn from this video, tell the person, try for talk to people, and try for meet people, and try for remind copying the Muslim. And of course, we will not know today, let me try for put them in practice. So you don't get the course and the big course and like you don't get a course and try for the buyer, try for if not a person, you can like, wear them right, you can tie them, and also to carry all, hijab you know they wear something very light and tight. Definitely not. You know for wear something very light and tight. So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it direct we for do the right things them and make we help for push me far from doing the wrong things. And also we go to the next question where we go where I go one we go one for now like what you will say to the hijabis where they wear the hijab the wrong way like you don't count on the right the one that now where they wear the hijab the right way then we go see them we wear the right way then characters you know not the line up like I'll make you say something to them too.
Okay, just like I said just now, the Prophet said, preach the Islam not only by talking but by your character. One thing where we love most, where we love the Prophet so much, and even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that even praised the Prophet with, was his character. The Prophet has the perfect character, the way they interact, and most people when they join Islam because of hiding it. You not take anything too much big. You understand? So the Prophet was very, very, very good at his character, and that shows that a lesson for we as Muslims. You forget a very good character. You as a religious person, you first have as an example to others them out there. You no go expect your own character for be wrong. Then you go to up in a public for lecture and people and do the right thing. Even though some leaders then can say, don't do as I wouldn't say, or don't do as I do as I say. Yes, that is wrong. You know, as a role model, somebody they expect for pick every bit of what you do. When you mentor somebody, you mentor in a way that you why make the mentor the person because of what they do. But if you they say something, then what you do contradicts what you they say. It's wrong. Even to yourself, it's very bad. So it's very good following character and fine. You will really interact with people when you forget a very good character, you will be polite. A Muslim woman not for be loud. Not for be loud. Anytime they hey don't come. No. You will be very polite and make sure say you carry yourself very well the way you interact with people and not only for you religion. It's good for you as well in the future. It's very, very good for you also. You're not going to know whose side benefits they come up for you, whose opportunity they come up for you. So normally in life, we need to be very kind to each other. We need to be polite and make sure say the way they interact be very good.
Okay, so as we don't already hear from Sister Aki, fine for maybe we get a role model, we get good character and this is the good thing. So I can advise anybody, if you want to make a role model, yeah, you can make with big person like presently, but it will finally we look up to the for we the hijab Aisha radiallahu anha make them people in the be role model not to like just anybody or we can make the prophet to myself you know a very much good example. We can make a role model, we can listen to him sooner than try for no more. And as a hijabi I don't already learn from Sister Aki, like I'm also we all go learn from learning for try for seek knowledge, try for know when you do something, you need to know what you do. Instead, you do for nothing, of course. So I go out also. I'll go out to me say a few words. So the one that where like the hijabis them way that they go to constraints like of present days.
It's really tough. I cannot lie to you. For making put on an hijab during this 21st century, it's very tough. You can first think in the first time with grandparents and tandem, it will be kind of simple, small because with forefathers then we know women them as people with the cover. Even if you're not a Muslim, with forefathers then they're not being get shortcuts, they're not being get and where woman they come in every day and all this that they're not being get them. So it be kind of simple back then, but now this 21st century. We are in a world of technology. It's very tough. It's very, very tough. They say now we put on hijab in a granny. You know, they in the styles. You know the trend. Of course, yes. So now make even with sister, they know what they can do. they can kind of style the hijab for let them fit in the 21st century. And why did they do that? Now for me, they don't go through the constraints them way others than they go through. And make it they see some sister there, now tired they get, once they tie their head, then put choker, they are well to go, then say na hijab. But firstly, what you will forget at the back of your mind, for the fact that at first, we parents and they do for the sake of Allah, let the things still there for the sake of Allah. People like can fail, or sisters they can fail for realize they put on this hijab for the sake of Allah. Instead, they put them on for please mankind. And this hijab, we know they wear them for please the people then. For let them say no, for let them praise you. Oh, this sister gets training, this sister they cover himself, this sister this sister. No. You for do them for the sake of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala they reward you if you do them for his sake. So there are a lot of constraints. Like me, truly, I go through a lot of constraints. Starting from the friends that they find out, you get friends where they tell you, say, you can make yourself like grand. You look all you cover yourself from up to down. You do you do this. You know they find yourself a boyfriend. You know they make this somehow. You don't understand. So like you find out, say, because of that, then they make you friends safe. So you did this. The friends they know more they get. The one the way when all the hijab.
Yeah.
Now then they can't make you friend. The one the way the hijab, they don't make you friend. Because as they begin to talk about them boyfriend, they begin advise them. Oh come on, I only marry. And then best call them. Maybe they don't call me only marry. Say they don't give. So like kind of then kind things and they again. You don't really go with sister them astray. Some sisters they know even go through their constraints and I know a lot of sisters will pull the hijab because of what they go through. Friends then they tell them to make them pull up. Because of nobody they laugh at them, they pull up. I know a lot of sisters who don't pull their hijab just because of what in society they tell them to do. But one thing we will say, it all depends on you. And first what I've been saying again, the knowledge. If really you get the knowledge, you know what impact you will get when you wear the hijab. You know the blessings from the Almighty. You know saying a command from the Almighty. Sincerely, you they put on the hijab for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I can say some of them sisters they wake in Pulam and lack of complete knowledge. But inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I would pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them easy for we already put on the hijab. Because there are a lot of constraints. That's not the school level and padi level radical. What about these offices? The offices them they don't reject a lot of sisters because of the hijab. Yes. They tell them fact, if you know they pull the hijab, we know they offer you this job.
I see that hijab they work.
Yeah, forgetting that now you knowledge, now you brain, now you work. And where will they cover? When they cover our brain there. Now where to cover? So it's the brain that is working, not the head. Huh? So we actually need for look at that area there as well. We don't see a lot of sisters back they pull their hijab then just because of they want for work. And with some sisters then they not then their parents then depend on. If they don't work, their parents they nearly get. So they can say and say, make a pull up. That's simple thing, make a go work. You don't understand. We get a sister then, I know we call names, but we get a sister where even they learn medicine like a nurse. Just because of his hijab, then say you know they work. Now pharmacy and no open. Now they work now. Now they say they sell for himself. So you see the constraints, eh? Yeah. So it can kind of limit them. They can go on and on, graduate, but for our work, it's very difficult. So they go through a lot of constraints. So now that's make we try very hard for advocates. For let them allow all hijabis for actually actualize their dreams. Work. If you're not somebody, you don't go, you don't work, you don't graduate as a banker, you don't graduate. May they allow you when you work. If not uniform, you wear the uniform, still you wear the hijab. It's not wrong. So these are some of the constraints we will go through.
So as we don't already learn, hijabis then they out here. A lot of people and they go through constraints, and of course some like myself out of experience. The peer group influence, the paddy in our school, they try to fit in. As a hijabi, you don't try to fit in. Like as a person yourself, not that I can like tell anybody right now because I don't go through that out of experience. You have to try to fit in. If you do it for Allah, also for a person. How much nobody? If the person will be paddy because of the hijab, make him go. Other hijabi sister and they you can make friends with them people and they. So as I be they say, we they do this hijab as well. We don't do it for nobody. You need to for please mankind. You don't ever able to please what man. So like now allow you for do it for, and of course if you try for go out, seek knowledge about this hijab so that when we go do I'm not to know what distract me. When we go now we don't know the easy way they do, I'm not to know what pull your mind from that. And of course which you say just now, I don't see people because of the hijab they work. So man in just full yeah, a lot of cases out there it happens too. So man they say okay me and they work. They stop for a while but because of it just go for do for make money they can pull them. So Sister Aki, I want to know back if you get anything for say for the one that they wear hijab.
Okay, firstly, the one when they wear hijab, and when you are make one for make clear, the hijab now compulsory only for Muslim women. So if you're not a Muslim woman, not to compulsory for you. So your input as a Muslim woman, your responsibility now that if you want to encourage non-Muslims to put them on, there comes the encouragement. You know, the first person to put them on, as I told you earlier. You they encourage them to put them on and tell them the reason that is for let them join Islam. So when that's not the first step for you join Islam. When you join Islam, you put on the hijab. For the non-Muslim, in first step now for join Islam first. Right? Because you know we encourage somebody for wearing the hijab, you know to Muslim, you don't know them putting Islam or you don't know what Islam they're about. So for the non-Muslims it's not compulsory. So
actually I mean for the Muslim the way they wear hijab.
For the Muslims the way they wear hijab.
We don't wear hijab at all.
We know the Muslims the way not they wear hijab.
Yeah.
Okay. For the Muslims the way not they wear hijab, one thing they for know that are compulsory for them. One of the way the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say any woman will go out, any Muslim woman will go out when not put on the hijab. From the start of in house, till outside they go, till they return, the Prophet, the angels and they swear. For every step where it take, till outside it go, till it return, the angels and they swear. Because of Allah don't say na compulsory, for it cover in body, then it go out in one. So if only you stay away from that, and we know say angels them anything, if not one ask Allah, accept instant. If not swear, instant. So for make you stay away from that, wear the hijab. Anything that systematically, you know who fattening people in the market day. You start out systematically and take you put them on perfectly. But I encourage all sisters them out there for make them they put on the hijab. And me I can always say the first step for you put on the hijab and for you seek knowledge. I encourage all sisters them out there for seek Islamic knowledge. It is very, very important for you to seek Islamic knowledge. Now we get Islamic knowledge, now they know say for where hijab fine. Now we get Islamic knowledge, now they know say for talk to your neighbor be fine. Now we get Islamic knowledge, now they know all of them good attributes there. So I encourage each and every Muslim woman out there to put on the hijab. We were already put them on. Let me make sure say the intention is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not to please anybody out there. Make it be purely for Allah and in mercy and in blessing go they upon we all, and thank you.
Okay, alhamdulillah for today. I'm glad that I learned a lot, and I hope say una out there say learn a lot, and they say thank you very much. Big thank you to Sister Raki for today, for the time and for the teachings also. So this is now the 5th episode on Pathway to Jannah. You can go YouTube on SME TV Live, watch for the other episode from episode 1 to 5. So una stay connected to this channel, to this show Pathway to Jannah. Thank you very much for watching.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم